Hello, everyone. I wanted to just go over a couple things with you. Once again, it's March 9th, Tuesday, noon. This is my office hours. Record this. I'll respond to a couple of you. I'll record this and put it in the discussion area. Just a couple of things I wanted to kind of mention. The discussion today is cutout animation versus stop motion. You know that cutout animation is recorded as stop motion. Um, you know, it's flat. It's not like 3D, but it's still the same camera. It's just that the camera's flat, that the production is flat. Sabina writes that the paper can be malleable. But the other thing is that you can use stiffer cardboard and you can be really careful with it. A lot of Reiniger stuff from the very, very early days of animation was just gorgeous. And she didn't have any problems with the malleability of the paper or getting it wet. I think that an animator would always just pay really close attention to making sure that it wouldn't get wet. I think it's more fun sometimes to use real puppets, but gee, there's nothing like the puppets that she made for Prince Ahmed. They're just really gorgeous. There's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. If I started to play this, I would probably not be able to put the recording up in our classroom because it would be a copyright violation. But check it out, Sabina. I'll write the note in there for you too. But check it out. Check out Lotta Reiniger stuff. Stop motion. The top is the character's anatomy, can be unproportional. Ian, I'm not quite so sure. I think that you can spend a great deal of effort artistically making sure that your cutouts are proportional. Now, they might not be able to move three-dimensionally, and you wouldn't be able to do the same kind of squash and stretch for sure. But I think that when you say cutout animation is no different than 2D, I think you just have to kind of look at it. In 2D, you can do all kinds of squash and stretch. You can do all kinds of exaggeration. I would say, if I was answering this, I would probably just say one of the differences is that you can't do a lot of dynamic exaggeration. Squash and stretch is not impossible, but you'd have to build the puppets to be replaceable puppets, so that if one puppet was falling on the ground, as soon as it hit the ground, it would start to squash a little bit and then squash more and then squash more, and then you would replace those long, tall figurines with puppets that were just made a little differently. It can be done. You just kind of have to be creative and think about it. Kelly is saying limited materials, the face of papers, flattened materials. I think that it's interesting for me, just the idea of animating on a flat surface and trying to get a depth of perspective with it. If you want to, a lot of Reiniger stuff is all just pretty much two-dimensional, left and right. But because of that, because of those constraints, she was allowed to figure out the limitations and play with movement and speed and dynamics. And I think that stop motion itself, as puppets, plasticine puppets, clay, or rigged puppets, is the most difficult form of animation that there is. I think that in both, there's a similarity that in cutout animation, making flat puppets, and in stop motion with rigged puppets, that you get one shot at doing the scene. You start your camera, you get your lights going, you start recording, and if you make a mistake, there's really no way to go back and fix it. In Toon Boom or hand-drawn 2D animation, Flash, Maya, all your 3D applications, if there was a mistake in a key position, you could always go back and fix it. That to me, that's the one big difference, is that stop motion animators have to get it right on the first pass. All right, so once again, I will put this recording up in the box in the discussion area, and I'll leave the class open for another 15 minutes or so in case someone comes by. Thanks. All right, I just wanted to add one more thing to this recording, and that was just a reminder to all of you that if you would like a separate Zoom session, just a one-on-one thing for my office hours, and because this is Tuesday at noon and Friday at 4 o'clock doesn't match your schedule, to just email me, let me know. I have time, I can set something up. And you just email me at billyb_44@yahoo.com and I'll set you up.